He flashed his badge like it was a crown, ordering her to move from the chair she'd reserved. A white U.S. Marshal, loud and confident, convinced a black woman couldn't possibly belong in the premium section of the Coral Bay Club. But as the whispers grew and eyes turned, she didn't argue, she smiled. Because the man lecturing her about authority had no idea who she really was. The sound of water rippled as her story began. Sunlight shimmered across the Coral Bay Club pool. Nyla Carter walked toward her reserved chair, her name tag still clipped to it. But a man was already there, lounging with his boots up. "That's my seat," she said calmly. He smirked without looking up. "Doubt it. This area's for premium members." He flashed a badge. U.S. Marshal. "Find another spot." A few heads turned. The tag with her name fluttered to the ground. Nyla didn't flinch, just stared. Because the man in her chair had no idea, she was his boss. For a moment, Nyla stood frozen, the chatter around the pool fading into a low hum. The tag with her name, still glistening with droplets, lay by her sandal. She bent to pick it up, brushed it clean, and quietly set it on the small table beside her. The marshal watched with a grin. "Careful. Wouldn't want you to get the chair wet." His tone was playful, but his eyes said something else: ownership, dismissal, confidence that no one would ever call him out. The manager approached, uncertain. "Ma'am, is there an issue?" Before she could speak, the marshal waved a hand. "It's handled." "She's mistaken." Nyla's jaw tightened. "Check the reservation system," she said softly. The manager hesitated, glancing between them, and then mumbled, "I'll look into it." But everyone nearby already assumed the answer. As the manager walked off, the marshal chuckled. "Relax. Enjoy the view, just not from this chair." A few bystanders laughed quietly. Nyla turned toward the water, eyes distant, breath steady. She'd seen this dynamic before, the easy cruelty that came from confidence without consequence. "What would you do if this happened to you?" she thought, the question echoing silently as she reached for her phone. Not to argue. To document. Because some lessons had to be recorded before they were taught. The manager returned, holding a tablet. It says this chair is reserved for N. Carter." Bryce frowned. "That's impossible. She probably hacked the system." He stood, stepping closer. The badge on his chest gleamed. "You think that name gives you authority here?" Nyla didn't answer. She just met his gaze, calm and steady. He scoffed. "You know what? I'll handle this myself." He pulled out his phone, dialing. "Yeah, it's Marshal Whitaker. Got a situation. Possible trespass." The word trespass cut through the air. The bystanders froze. Even the manager took a step back. Nyla exhaled slowly. Years of control in her voice when she finally spoke. "Whitaker, do you even know who you're talking to?" He laughed, dismissive. "Yeah, a woman who doesn't belong in the premium section." Then she reached into her bag, pulled out a sleek black credential case, and flipped it open. The gold shield inside glinted under the noon light. The engraved title read, Supervisory Deputy U.S. Marshal, District Command. The smirk vanished from his face. "Wait, what?" Nyla held his stare. "You just called in your own chain of command." The pool deck went silent, the sound of splashing replaced by stunned disbelief. Bryce's voice faltered. You're with Internal Affairs." Nyla didn't move. "Higher." She nodded toward the pool staff, who were still frozen in place. "I suggest you sit down before you make this worse." The manager's tablet pinged again, Nyla's full credentials now visible on the verification screen. "Ma'am, your reservation is confirmed. My deepest apologies." Bryce's face flushed red. This is a misunderstanding." "No," she said quietly, it's a pattern. She pulled her phone from her tote, pressed one button, and his supervisor's voice came through speakerphone. Marshal Whitaker has breached Code Conduct 3-7. I'm logging it now. The voice on the other end replied, firm, suspend him pending review. The pool fell silent. Bryce lowered his badge, all that confidence dissolving into disbelief. Nyla slipped her sunglasses back on, reclaiming her chair. Next time you flash that badge, she said evenly, remember who it's supposed to protect. He turned and walked away, each step heavier than the last. As the afternoon sun reflected off the still water, Nyla exhaled, a quiet, steady breath. Justice didn't always need to shout. Sometimes, it just needed to sit back down.